Stop pampering yourself. Soaking your feet in hot water while watching TV isn't therapy, it's laziness. Do you want feet that feel nice for 10 minutes or legs that can carry you to the bathroom at age 80 without a nurse's help? The choice is made in the kitchen, not the hospital. Good morning or good evening, wherever you are on your health journey. Let's have a very honest conversation today. I see many patients in my clinic who tell me, "Doctor, I take care of my legs. I soak them in hot water with ginger every night." And I have to look them in the eye and say, that is exactly why your ankles are swollen. You see, in geriatric medicine, we have a different definition of health. We don't look at how smooth your skin is. We look at hemodynamics, the physics of blood flow. When you soak your feet in static hot water for 20 minutes, you are using heat to dilate or open up the blood vessels. That sounds good, right? But here is the trap. Without movement, gravity takes over. The blood rushes down into those open vessels and it stays there. It pools. You are turning your legs into a stagnant swamp instead of a flowing river. Today we are going to fix this. We are not going to soak. We are going to train. We are going to use a technique called contrast hydrotherapy. Think of this as a gym session for your artery walls. We will force them to open and close, pumping blood back to your heart using thermal physics, not just hope. If you have been following our 15-video roadmap, you know we have finished the purification stage. Now we are in the activation stage. I have broken down today's protocol into 5 critical steps, counting down from 5 to 1. Do not skip ahead. Step 1 is the most important, but step 5 keeps you out of the emergency room. Let's begin with number 5, the medical clearance. Before you fetch your basins, you must pass this safety check. This therapy is powerful. It creates rapid changes in blood pressure and flow velocity. Therefore, it is not for everyone. Constraint A, advanced diabetic neuropathy. I need you to listen closely. If you have diabetes and your feet feel numb, like you are wearing thick socks when you are barefoot, you must stop. According to guidelines from the Mayo Clinic, patients with neuropathy lose thermal sensation. You might put your feet in the water that is scalding hot, over 110 degrees Fahrenheit, and not feel a thing until your skin is burned. If your sensors are broken, you cannot run this program. Constraint B, deep vein thrombosis, DVT. If one of your legs is significantly more swollen than the other, or if it is red, hot, and painful to the touch, do not do this. Because we are about to increase blood velocity. If there is a loose clot in your deep veins, this pumping action could dislodge it. We want to move blood, not clots. If you are unsure, perform the touch test. Close your eyes. Have a family member touch your toes with an ice cube. If you feel the cold sharply and immediately, your nerves are intact. You are safe to proceed. Number 4, the engineering setup. Most people fail because they treat this like a spa day. This is a medical procedure. You need 2 containers. And please do not use shallow basins. I want you to use buckets. Plastic buckets, but come up to your mid-calf or higher. Why the depth? It's about hydrostatic pressure. The deeper the water, the more pressure it exerts on your tissues. This water pressure acts like a compression stocking, helping to squeeze fluid out of the tissues and back into the veins. A shallow tray merely wets your feet. A deep bucket treats your legs. Now let's talk about temperature precision. You cannot guess the temperature with your elbow. You need a thermometer. Bucket A, hot. Target 100 degrees Fahrenheit to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, approximately 38 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. Do not exceed 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Research in thermal physiology shows that temperatures above this limit can damage the proteins in aging skin and cause excessive vasodilation, leading to a drop in blood pressure. We want stimulation, not a burn. Bucket B, cold. Target 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, approximately 10 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius. This is colder than you think. You will likely need to add a tray of ice cubes to your tap water to reach this range. The magic is not in the heat. The magic is in the gap. We need a difference of at least 40 degrees Fahrenheit between the 2 buckets. This thermal shock is what wakes up your nervous system. So you have your safety clearance and you have your buckets engineered to the perfect temperature. But simply putting your feet in the water won't work if you don't know the golden ratio. Timing is everything. If you get the timing wrong, you might actually increase the swelling. What is the precise rhythm that mimics the heartbeat? Let's move to number 3. We are now at number 3, the 3-to-1 golden ratio. Many patients ask me, "Doctor, can I just dip my foot in the cold water for a second? Or can I soak in the hot for 10 minutes because it feels nice?" The answer is no. Physics demands precision. If you want results, you must follow the math. The protocol for vascular gymnastics is strictly 3 minutes hot, followed by 1 minute cold. Why this specific timing? Think about the biology. Heat moves slowly. It takes time for the thermal energy to penetrate through your skin, the subcutaneous fat layer, and the muscle to finally reach the deep arteries. We give it 3 minutes to ensure full vasodilation, opening the floodgates for fresh blood. But cold is a shock. It triggers a survival reflex in your nervous system almost instantly. As soon as that 55 degrees Fahrenheit water touches your skin, your brain screams, "Conserve heat," and clamps the vessel shut. That reaction is immediate. That is why 1 minute is all you need. Here is your workout routine. 1. Place both feet in the hot bucket, 100 degrees Fahrenheit to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Start your timer. Close your eyes and breathe. Stay there for 3 minutes. 2. When the timer beeps, lift your feet, move quickly but safely, and plunge them into the cold bucket, 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Reset timer for 1 minute. 3. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times. Think about what is happening inside. 3 cycles means you have manually pumped the blood in your legs 3 full times. You are doing the heavy lifting that your aging heart is struggling to do. We are halfway through the protocol. But before we dive into the microscopic miracle that happens in your veins, I have a request. We are building this health roadmap together, video by video. If you appreciate a channel that respects your intelligence and explains the why instead of just giving orders, please subscribe now. By clicking that button, you ensure you won't miss the next step where we talk about cleaning the blood itself. Join us and let's age backwards together. Now let's get to number 2. This is the part that excites me as a doctor. This is the mechanism. Why does this work? It's not magic, it's nitric oxide. To understand this, you need to know about the endothelium. This is the incredibly thin layer of cells lining the inside of every blood vessel in your body. For decades, medicine thought it was just a smooth wallpaper. We were wrong. The endothelium is actually a dynamic internal pharmacy. When you perform contrast hydrotherapy, the rapid expansion, hot, and contraction, cold, create a physical force called shear stress on these vessel walls. According to extensive research published in the Journal of Physiology, this shear stress stimulates the endothelial cells to release a molecule called nitric oxide, NO. Why should a 70-year-old care about nitric oxide? Because nitric oxide is the WD-40 for your arteries. It signals your arteries to relax naturally, lowering blood pressure without pills. It prevents white blood cells and platelets from becoming sticky, reducing the risk of plaque buildup. Imagine a garden hose that has been left in the sun for 20 years. It gets stiff, brittle, and prone to cracking. That is your artery as you age. Now imagine applying a conditioner that makes that rubber hose soft, flexible, and elastic again. That is what nitric oxide does. By following the 3-to-1 ratio, you are not just washing your feet, you are manufacturing this life-saving medicine right in your kitchen. You are telling your arteries, you are not dead yet, wake up. This is evidence-based medicine. We are using the body's own mechanics to heal itself. But here is the danger. We have covered the safety, number 5, the setup, number 4, the timing, number 3, and the mechanism, number 2. But there is one final rule, number 1. This is the rule that 90% of people get wrong. I see patients who do all the hard work, they do the 3 cycles, and then they make one fatal mistake at the very end that undoes everything. They actually leave their legs in a state of congestion worse than when they started. What is the absolute final step that seals the benefits? We have arrived at number one, the golden rule. If you forget everything else I said today, remember this: always end on cold. I repeat, you must always finish your session with the cold bucket. Here is why this is non-negotiable. Imagine you finish your session with the warm water because it feels cozy. You dry your feet and walk to the living room. Your blood vessels are still dilated, wide open. Gravity immediately pulls the blood down into those open spaces. Within 30 minutes, your ankles will swell. This is called passive hyperemia. You have essentially invited the fluid to stay in your lower limbs. But when you finish with that final 1 minute of cold, you create a vascular lock. The cold forces a final strong constriction. It squeezes the blood out of the superficial veins and drives it deep into the core and up towards the heart. It acts like a check valve. 2, you prevent heat loss. By closing the pores and constricting surface vessels, you actually trap your core body heat inside. This leads to a phenomenon called the reactive hyperemia, or the rebound effect. 5 minutes after you finish with cold water, your feet will actually feel warmer and rosier than if you had finished with hot water. Your body is rushing fresh blood to warm up the area from the inside out. The protocol is final. 3 minutes, hot to 1 minute, cold. 3 minutes, hot to 1 minute, cold. 3 minutes, hot to 1 minute, cold. Stop. Do not go back to hot, just to warm up. Trust the physiology. Once you step out of that final cold soak, the therapy isn't over. You have entered the recovery phase. First, surgical drying. I call it surgical because you must be precise, especially between the toes. As we age, our skin barrier weakens. Leaving dampness between toes is an open invitation for fungal infections. Be gentle, pat dry, do not rub aggressively. Second, the elevation lock. Go immediately to your sofa or bed. Lie down. Put your feet up on pillows so they are higher than your heart level. Stay there for 10 to 15 minutes. Why? You have just vigorously shaken up the circulation. Now give gravity a chance to drain all that mobilized fluid back to your kidneys to be filtered. This is how we effectively reduce edema. This 15-minute rest is when the healing happens. My friends, today we have achieved something remarkable. We have built a gym for your blood vessels. We have learned how to restore the elasticity of the pipes, but I must be honest with you. Imagine you have brand new elastic pipes in your house. The plumbing is perfect. But what if the water flowing inside those pipes is thick, greasy sludge? Will the water flow fast? Number. Will the pipes eventually get clogged anyway? Yes. Hydrotherapy restores the container, the vessel, but it does not fix the content, the blood. If your blood is thick with cholesterol, if your platelets are sticky, if your blood sugar is turning your bloodstream into syrup, then all the pumping in the world will only help so much. You need to clean the sludge. We need to thin the blood naturally, without dangerous medication if possible. In the next video, video 8, I am taking you to the grocery store. I will show you the top 3 natural blood cleansers that act like a detergent for your arteries. But before we go there, I have one more secret for the advanced students among you. A technique to modify this hydrotherapy for those with arthritis or specific joint pain. Stay with me for the final minutes because this modification changes everything. Wait, before you run to the grocery store for the blood cleansers I mentioned, I want to invite you to the advanced class. The protocol I just gave you, hot, cold, 3-to-1 ratio, that is the standard prescription. It works for 90% of people. But if you are still watching at this minute, you are not average. You are the top 10% who really fight for your health. So I am going to teach you how to customize this therapy using isometric secrets and mineral science. First, for those of you with osteoarthritis or stiff ankle joints, water alone is good, but water with minerals is medicine. I want you to add Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate to your hot bucket. About half a cup is enough. Magnesium is a natural muscle relaxant. When dissolved in warm water, it can be absorbed through the skin, a process called transdermal absorption. According to the Journal of Integrative Medicine, Magnesium helps reduce inflammation and relaxes the stiff tendons around your ankle joint. So while the heat dilates the vessels, the magnesium loosens the joint. It's a dual-action therapy. Now here's the secret weapon. The isometric power technique. This is how we double the efficiency of the pump without moving an inch. When your feet are submerged, especially in the cold bucket, I want you to perform toe curls. Curl your toes down tightly, as if you are trying to pick up a marble from the bottom of the bucket. Hold that squeeze for 5 seconds. Then release. Why does this matter? You are activating the calf muscle pump. Your calf muscle is technically known as the second heart of the body. When you contract these muscles while the cold water is constricting the veins, you are creating a massive pressure surge that shoots venous blood back up to the heart. It is safe for your joints because it is an isometric action, static tension, but it makes the therapy 200% more effective. Do 10 squeezes during every 1-minute cold phase. A quick note for my friends with varicose veins. Heat is generally the enemy of varicose veins because it makes them expand further. Does that mean you can't do this? Number. It means you modify. For you, the hot bucket should not be 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep it mild, around 98 degrees Fahrenheit, body temperature. But your focus must be on the cold bucket. Cold is the best friend of a varicose vein. It strengthens the vessel wall tone. Focus your mental energy on the cold phase. That is where your healing happens. We have covered the safety, the physics, the chemistry, and the advanced modifications. But let me leave you with one final thought. Why do we do this? We don't soak our feet just to have nice skin. We do this because every time you improve your circulation, you are buying yourself independence. Independence means walking to the park without fear. Independence means standing in the kitchen to cook a holiday meal for your family without pain. Independence means being the grandparent who can play with the grandkids, not the one who just watches them from the couch. Your health is the greatest gift you can give to your children. When you take care of your legs, you relieve them of the burden of taking care of you. That is the ultimate act of love. So tonight, set up your buckets. Be the scientist in your own kitchen. And remember, the vessels are ready, but the blood needs to be clean. If you want the full package, elastic vessels and clean blood, the guide to the top 3 natural blood cleansers is right here on your screen. One of them is a juice that works better than aspirin for many people. Don't let your hard work go to waste with clogged blood. Respect your body, and it will carry you far. Click the video now, and I will see you in the next aisle.